We've got ourselves a nice gravel bike here. Everything's on it except for two things, the front and the rear wheel. Well, someone has come to the party. Elitewheels have provided their drive version of a gravel wheel set. Now, we did a review on some Elitewheels before, the drive wheel set, but they were for road bike. In fact, we've still got them and they're still being ridden by one of our riders and they're going great. But these are, of course, the gravel. They're a G45 gravel wheel set. Well, let's have a look. So the company's Elite bike wheels, not to be confused with Elite, the Italian company that sell home trainers and water bottles and cages. Well packaged to protect the product, your wheels of course. Double packaging. Wheels are all about rims, spokes and hubs. And it wasn't too long ago that wheels were all hand built for cyclists' specific needs. For instance, they were either aero or they were light, and they weren't all that robust in between. Today, pretty much all our wheel sets are made in factory, and there's a lot more research that's gone into how the rims, spokes and hubs interact to make the ideal wheel set for your cycling needs. Also, wheels quite often come with a group set from that particular brand, so the rim, the spoke and the hub combinations produce significantly better wheels than that of yesterday. So if you're in the market for a nice set of wheels, buy specifically for your riding needs. And also your tyres. When you buy your tyres, buy them specifically for the wheels and keep the tyre pressures at the right tyre pressures. And just because your new wheel set is going to be better than your old wheel set, don't use that as an excuse to go flying over jumps and off curbs and expect them to be still performing absolutely perfectly. Now these wheels, like more and more wheels coming onto the market now, have got carbon fibre spokes and they're proving to be quite robust as well. In fact, so much so, don't be surprised in the near future if carbon spokes replace steel spokes. All Elite wheel sets come with spare spokes. In the box you've got 3 for the rear and 1 for the front. The little booklet, How to Look After Your Wheels in about 10 different languages. However, there is something handy in there, and that's a tyre pressure chart. This hard copy chart only goes up to 28mm tyres. However, if you go on their website, you'll find more extensive charts for road, gravel and mountain bike. So for my tyres, 44mm, I'm about 75 kilos in weight. This is a general guide, and of course there are many other factors that determine your tyre pressure that you're going to ride. Right, let's weigh the wheels. Front one with the little valvey thingy, 590 grams. 780. 1370 grams, that's extremely light for a gravel wheel set. These gravel rims have the same finish as their road counterparts, a crinkled velvet effect under a high gloss clear. Here's the road drive wheel set we got about 2 years ago, and I've done about 4,000 kilometres here in the Australian sun, and the high gloss finish is still the same as new. Each rim has a ventilation hole which evaporates moisture that may come down into the rim from the spokes. The inner width of a rim determines the size of the tyre that you can use with the wheel. So these wheels are 24mm, that's plenty big enough for the 44 size tyres we're putting on. Outer width, which is more of a subject for aerodynamics, 31mm. The rim depth, well, it gives it away in the title, G45, they're 45mm. So these use the carbon spokes, and the way they join the hub to the rim, the hub end of the spoke is a fixed nipple, it's not adjustable. At the rim end, this piece which protrudes out of the rim is also not the adjuster, but where you hold the spoke so it doesn't twist as you turn this piece which is hidden inside of the rim. To access that piece, there's holes under the rim tape in the rim so that you can use this tool, a 5.5mm hex socket, so you can adjust that piece which adjusts the spoke tension. These carbon bladed spoked wheels have a 7% higher lateral response over equivalent steel spoked wheel sets. That's a stiffer wheel but lighter weight. In addition, carbon spokes provide an increase in vibration dampening. These blade spokes are 3.3mm wide, which will give you an increase in aerodynamic advantage, which is great for the road but not so essential for the gravel riding. The spokes are 2-cross both on the free hub side and on your brake rotor side, and where they cross they are not touching, they don't come in contact. So as you can see past the cardboard through there, they're not crossing whatsoever. So don't go into panics thinking that your carbon spokes are wearing out where they touch there. On the front wheel, on the non-brake rotor side, is a radial spoke, and this is for lightness because a radial spoke is shorter than a 2-cross spoke like on the rotor side here. 2-cross for a little bit extra strength, and where they cross is again not touching. So that's your front wheel. Now these hubs have ceramic bearings all the way through, so both the free hub body and the actual hub body have ceramic bearings, and they are very, very smooth. I can feel them, I can feel a little bit of, what do you call it, rolling, but it's extremely smooth. Compared to the old hubs we used to have years ago, well, these would be top of the range. That's really nice. And the front hub, no, I can't feel anything. Very good, very, very good, excellent. Of course there's 2 bearings in the front hub and 4 in the rear. A nice purple free hub body, and I'm sure it comes in different colours, not that it matters because you won't see the colour anyhow. Nevertheless, it's aluminium. So aluminium, very, very light. So it goes with the wheels being very, very light. But the problem with aluminium is it's softer than a steel free hub body. So steel free hub body will last a lot longer, aluminium not so long. How long these aluminium, this particular one, lasts, who knows? But after about 3,000–4,000 kilometres you will see some sprocket bites in the body, particularly midway along the mid part of the sprockets, the middle ones. The general aesthetics of the hubs, very nice. They're like a satin finish, black satin finish. I don't know if you can see that. And you've got a larger flange here on the drive side than the brake rotor side. Very nice looking hubs. Front one, flanges are pretty much the same size. This one's maybe a little bit smaller than the brake side. To access the bearings or remove your free hub, you'll need 2 17mm cone spanners. Remove the retaining nuts and the dust caps, which are all one piece. And the free wheel pulls straight off quite easily. So it's a 4-pole and spring clutch, and there's ceramic bearings, 2 in the free hub and 2 in the hub shell. Good amount of grease for the clutch mechanism, not too much and not too thick. Clutch engagement, let's put the valve up the top, right up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18's halfway, so 2 times 18 is 36. 36 engagements per revolution. One thing that would have been nice to have is more points of engagement, because these are gravel wheels. More points of engagement for off-road. Generally, that's the rule. These are 36, it's about the same as road wheels. You'd have to be really pushing the limits to feel the difference anyhow. 36 is just fine, but would have been nice to have 48. Now for the seals, you can see there's no rubber seal on here, but it does have a double plastic inbuilt dust cap. And its tolerance to the hub body, inside the hub body, is fairly close. And it's the same on the other side. So there's no actual rubber seals, just the dust cap. These ones take the standard Shimano rotor. Everybody wants to hear what clutches sound like, so here we go for the G45s. Slow and fast. Not that loud, fairly subdued. Now we went through all the measurements that we usually do with wheels, and they are spoke twist, spoke tension, spoke distressing, and the length of the spokes. The rim, having a look inside with an endoscope, seeing what it's like inside, discussing the shape of the rim, whether it's aero or not, the dishing of the wheels, the truing, horizontal and vertical. And honestly, these wheels are good enough for the road, no problem. They were within 0.3 to 0.4 of a millimetre at the maximum of anything out in them. And because they're gravel wheels, well, you could be out a whole millimetre on any of those measurements and it wouldn't make any difference anyhow. Well, that's enough yada yada about these wheels like we're testing them in a laboratory. Nah, let's get them off the road, like off the road. Here we got the tyres. These are WTB Radler 44C tyres and the tubes to fit them. So let's see how the tyres and tubes fit. So we'll remove the tubeless valves because we're going to use just good old ordinary everyday tubes in these wheels. Keep these valveless tube parts because I'll show you why in a minute. Now I chose these tyres because the tread is a good all-rounder, not too knobbly and not too flat and slick. And just like the road version of these drive wheels, the tyres fit on quite easily. And because the rims are quite tall, 45mm, the valve length in these tubes is 60mm. A little bit of air in the tube so it takes its shape and doesn't fold as you tuck it in. Always work from the valve downwards as you put the other side of the tyre on. You can use your thumbs to help line it up, and then for the last part where it gets a bit harder, do not use your thumbs, use the palm of your hands like this. One thing with carbon rims is when you use a tube, your valve rattles. So to stop that, what you can do, I'm not going to use these, the tubeless valves that come with the wheels. So take off the aluminium nut and a little rubber washer and put them on your tubed valve. Do it up. No more rattle. Now to put the cassette on, seems a shame to cover up the pretty purple free hub, hey? Smear a little bit of grease on the free hub body all around. This will help protect against any corrosion, as aluminium does. It'll also stop creaking, and when it comes time to remove your cassette, it will slide off easily. And also smear a bit of grease on the splines for the brake rotors. Wheels on the bike, all ready to ride. On my way to meet the boys this morning on an off-road ride. We've got mountain bike. Hey, gravel bike. Get up there, can't we? Go on. Yeah. So far so good. This guy's cheating, he's got an e-bike. There's a motor under there. Corrugations. Russell deliberately speeds up when I go and take some video of him.
I only keep it in eco for rides with naturally aspirated bikes.
Naturally aspirated bike.
Where are we off to now? Left or right?
Right.
Right. Right.
Right, and then down to Kenny.
Kenny.
Don't
Want to ride off-road on the Fluria? Come and meet us. And we'll show you around.
It was a massive talk.
A road bike.
Well, how did the wheels go? How did they feel? Well, feel tends to be more of a roadie's term, doesn't it? How do your wheels feel? On gravel or off-road, it's more a matter of how did the wheels handle the conditions? By the time you watch this video, I would have done at least 3 rides, if not more. And so far, the wheels have held up really, really well. The only conditions I haven't tested them in yet, because we've had good weather, is really wet and muddy conditions. That's usually the tyre, though, that has the most bearing on that. But other than that, the wheels are still as true as when I got them out of the box brand new. So a lot is going to depend on the sort of tyres you use. Now for these ultralight wheels, it's nice to have, of course, ultralight tyres. And the way you get nice light tyres is with the gum walls, because they're slightly thinner and they're more supple, so you'll get a livelier feel. Of course, the tread makes a big difference as well. Why have a really big bulky tread unless you need it? And why have a slick tread unless you're staying on the road? So just a medium tread is good for all-round conditions. The other thing to consider with tyres is punctures. If you're using ultra lightweight tyres, they're more prone to punctures. So if you live in an area with big thorns from bushes that are on the track around the place and you're likely to get a puncture, then I would err not to get the ultralight tyres, but you could get a really light tyre with belts in them. between the casing and the tread is quite often you can get them with Kevlar belts or graphene belts in there, and that'll still help stop the punctures. Other than that, if you live in an area where there's high likelihood of punctures, then an ultralight tyre may not be the way to go. Go slightly heavier or with a belted tyre. So the reason we use more supple tyres like the Gunwales is they're slightly livelier. You'll feel more connected to the ground and they've got more get up and go. A thicker and a black tyre, which is not so forgiving, will feel more dead. So there is a lot of priority given to what sort of tyres you're using on your wheels. Now the other thing is, of course, these rims are carbon fibre. Now what are they like when you go over stones and sticks and they chip away at your carbon fibre? Well, aluminium, of course, is going to just show small scratches if anything, whereas carbon fibre could chip or leave deep scratches. Now you're going to find that when you do get a scratch on your carbon fibre or a stone chip, that you'll see a white sort of colour, and that is the resin, not the carbon fibre, because carbon fibre is black. The white, you'll see white chips, that'll be the resin. Don't panic, it's okay. All you need is a little bit of nail polish, just touch it up, let it dry, and off you go again. So the nail polish will seal it up and stop water getting into your carbon fibre, if anything. Other than that, for the rides I've had, I haven't got any chips at the moment. Maybe I need to go a bit rougher. The only negative I can possibly think of with these wheels at the moment is if you break a spoke, that means you had an accident and you've fallen off, and the spoke will probably be the last thing you look at, is you need a 5.5 hex to true the wheels to hold onto the nipple as you put your new spoke in and tune it up. That's about the only negative. Other than that, you can take to a bike shop and don't worry, he'll fix it for you. So are these Elite G45 wheels worth it? Well, I would say going on the road bike wheels we have, they're still going and they're excellent. We've had no issues with them whatsoever. And so far, no issues with these either. Now, they are an ultralight wheel set, so don't expect them to be really, really cheap. You will have to pay for the fact that they're handmade, and they've got carbon spokes, carbon rim, and really nice hubs, of course. So they're not the cheapest wheel set out there, but on the other hand, for an ultralight wheel set of 1,300 grams, well, we're going to get a 1,300 gram gravel wheel set for the price they are. Very hard to find. All the other name brand ones are just sky high in price. So if you really do want an ultralight set that look good as well, I'd say give these a go. To find their website, type into the search bar Elitewheels. It should be the first title that turns up, Carbon Wheels. Go there and you see their most popular wheel sets, and if you go to Drive G45, that's them there. That's the wheels in this video, and this page will tell you all about the G45 wheels. All the specs, all the nice pictures, and pretty much everything we've mentioned in this video. Back up to the top and you choose which free hub body that you need, either Shimano SRAM or the SRAM XDR/XD 12 speed. Then the colour decals that you'd like on your wheels, the ones in this video are silver. Press buy now and then view cart. On the left hand side, type in the coupon code box OzCycle15 and then click apply coupon. Now when you go over to the total, you're going to get a surprise, a significant discount. Here you can see it's whacked off almost $200. If you're still not convinced of the value of these drive wheels, go check out some name brand carbon gravel wheel sets. They're significantly more expensive and definitely not as light.
Did you ride up there?
Yeah.
Did you?
How far I went. Told Steve to get that way, Walker. To the point where I realised I was flipped in and there was at the point of no return.
What sort of surface is this?
The old mean South Road, Steve.
It's not gravel, it's bits of washers.